The Facebook post stopped me cold. My cousin had tagged my family in photos of their new home, a beautiful colonial in Virginia. 4 bedrooms, pool, the works. "Blessed to finally own our dream house," my mother had written. "God provides." I stared at it from my bunk in Iraq, confused. We'd never had money for a house like that. Then I recognized the address. It was purchased using the account where I'd been sending my combat pay for 3 years. $147,000 of hazard duty money. Every patrol, every firefight, every IED that missed me by inches. I'd survived it all thinking I was securing my family's future. What I didn't know was they'd already held my funeral. Closed casket, empty coffin. Told everyone I died in a classified mission. While I was dodging bullets in Fallujah, they were picking out granite countertops with my blood money. Welcome to the channel where family betrayal cuts deeper than enemy fire. If you're ready for a story of stolen valor and family greed, hit subscribe. Let me tell you how my family buried me alive for profit. My name is Staff Sergeant Anthony Martinez, 31 years old, infantry, deployed to Iraq in 2021. 3rd deployment, each one supposedly my last. Grew up poor in East LA, single mother. 2 younger siblings. Joined the Army at 18 to escape poverty, send money home. Be the man of the family. My father never was. My mother Maria worked 3 jobs to keep us fed. Cleaned houses, waited tables, whatever it took. She cried when I enlisted. "The Army will get you killed, Mio." But she cried harder when I sent my first paycheck home. "Now you can quit one job, Mom. Let me take care of you." That became my purpose. Every month, $3,000 went home. Basic expenses for me. Everything else for family. My siblings, Carlos and Sophia, were teenagers when I first deployed. Promised to pay for their college if they kept their grades up. "You focus on school, I'll handle the money." They called me their hero. Sophia had my picture in her locker. Carlos wore my old unit t-shirts. I was the success story, the one who made it out and pulled everyone up with him. The system was simple. Joint bank account with Mom for easy transfers. She had full access for emergencies. I trusted her completely. Why wouldn't I? This was the woman who went hungry so we could eat, who worked until her hands bled, who sacrificed everything for us. I was finally able to pay her back. By deployment number 3, I'd sent home $147,000. Every bonus, every hazard pay, every combat dollar. The account should have been enough for a house down payment, college funds, security. I checked the balance. Rarely, internet was spotty, and I trusted Mom. Big mistake. Huge fucking mistake. January 2023. Sitting in a concrete bunker in Iraq. Scrolling Facebook during downtime. Helped with homesickness. My cousin Elena posted photos. Congratulations to the Martinez family on their beautiful new home. Tagged my mom's siblings, everyone. There they were, standing in front of a colonial house that looked like something from a magazine. 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, manicured lawn, pool in the backyard. My mother holding keys, crying with joy. Carlos and Sophia posing by the door. Comments flooded in. "So happy for you after everything you've been through. God bless you in your new home. You deserve this after your loss." Loss? What loss? I checked the address visible in the photos. Ran it through Zillow. $450,000 purchase. Price. Cash purchase, no mortgage. The account name on public records, Maria Martinez. Purchased December 2022. Using what money? We'd never had $450,000. Unless. I tried logging into our joint account. Password changed. Security questions changed. Locked out completely. Called my mother on WhatsApp. No answer. Called Carlos, straight to voicemail. Sophia picked up. Background noise of a party. "Tony? Oh my God, Tony." Her voice went white. I have to go." She hung up. What the fuck was happening? Why did she sound like she'd heard a ghost? I messaged Alina, "Hey, congrats to Mom on the house." "When did they move?" Her response chilled me. "You don't know? They bought it with your life insurance money." "I'm so sorry for your loss, Primo. Your sacrifice means everything." My sacrifice? I was very much alive, sweating in 120-degree heat, counting days until leave. Frantic research on spotty internet. Found my own obituary in the LA Times, dated 6 months ago. Local hero dies in classified mission. Staff Sergeant Anthony Martinez, 31, was killed in action during a classified operation in Syria. Body not recovered due to sensitive nature of mission. He is survived by his mother Maria, siblings Carlos and Sofia. The article included quotes from my grieving mother. He died doing what he loved, protecting America. We find comfort knowing he's a hero. There was a photo from my funeral, hundreds of people. American flags, my high school JROTC forming honor guard. A casket draped in the flag. My mother clutching a folded flag, surrounded by crying relatives. Found the memorial page. Hundreds of condolences. GoFundMe that raised $75,000. Helped the Martinez family after their loss. Photos of my supposed last moments, all pulled from my Instagram, edited to look final. Videos of people sharing memories of me. My ex-girlfriend crying about lost love. My high school coach calling me the one who got away. But I was in Iraq, very much breathing. Had been for 8 months. No mission to Syria. No classified operations. No death except the fictional one my family created. They'd murdered me on paper while I was fighting actual war. Killed me for profit while I dodged real bullets. More digging. Found social media posts from Carlos. New car, BMW M3. Blessed to have this opportunity. Tony would want me to succeed. Sophia's Instagram showed shopping sprees, designer bags, trips to Vegas. Living life to the fullest because tomorrow isn't promised. Miss you, hermano. They were spending my death benefits while texting me occasionally to keep up appearances. Used a buddy's computer to dig deeper. Found the financial trail. The joint account had been drained systematically. First, small amounts. Then larger transfers. Finally, everything. $147,000 moved to accounts I didn't recognize. The timing lined up with my death. They'd emptied it the day after the obituary ran. But that wasn't all. My SGLI, military life insurance, had been claimed. $400,000 paid. Out to Maria Martinez as beneficiary. Death gratuity from the government, $100,000. Social Security death benefits. VA burial benefits. Even a fraudulent claim to my Army Emergency Relief Fund. All told, they'd collected nearly $750,000 from my death. The house purchase made sense. Now cash offer of $450,000. The rest spread across cars, shopping, investments. They'd even set up college funds, using my death benefits to pay for the education I'd promised to fund with my life. The irony was suffocating. I'd survived 3 deployments only to be killed by my family's greed. Found court documents. My mother had filed for sole custody of my estate. Listed assets I didn't know existed. My car sold. My apartment belongings liquidated. Even my dog Max rehomed for a fee. She'd erased every trace of my existence while profiting from my ghost. The woman who raised me had become my undertaker. The Facebook posts continued. My family living their best life in their new house. Pool parties, BBQs, holiday decorations. First Christmas in our forever home. Tony's watching over us. Pictures of my memorial corner, my military photo, folded flag, fake urn. Props in their performance of grief. Couldn't confront them from Araya. Needed evidence. Started screen recording everything. Every post, every photo, every financial record I could access. Built a digital case file. My battle buddy Jenkins helped. "Bro, this is fucked up. Your own family?" He couldn't believe it either. Reached out to people back home through fake accounts. High school friends who'd attended my funeral. "Beautiful service," one said. "Your mom's speech about your last phone call was heartbreaking." Last phone call? I'd never made one. She'd performed grief so well. People still cried telling me about it. Found the funeral home records. Closed casket service for remains too. Damage to view. Except there were no remains. The funeral director had been told it was a military necessity. Classified mission. Body unrecoverable. He'd provided an empty casket in good faith. My mother had stood over empty wood, crying for her. Cameras. The military angle was brilliant. Claiming classified mission meant no questions. No body meant no proof needed. Just a cooperative funeral home and crocodile tears. My mother had researched well. Even had fake documents that looked official enough to fool civilians. She'd planned my death like a military operation. Got copies of the insurance claims. Forged. Death certificates using my unit info. Fake Red Cross notifications. Even a fraudulent letter from my commanding officer about my heroic death. The detail was impressive. If I hadn't been alive, I'd have believed it too. My mother had missed her calling as a fiction writer. My platoon sergeant knew something was wrong. I'd become withdrawn, angry. Finally told him everything. He went white. "Martinez, we need Jade, now." The legal team was stunned. Identity theft, insurance fraud, stolen valor by proxy. Federal crimes stacked like cordwood. The FBI got involved. Agent Sarah Chun took the case personally. "I've seen a lot, but this, your own mother?" She assembled a task force. The evidence was overwhelming. Financial crimes across state lines. Fraud against the federal government. Even interstate commerce violations from selling my belongings online. We planned the confrontation carefully. I'd return on emergency leave, but secretly. FBI would have agents in place. The arrest needed to be clean. My mother was smart enough to run if spooked. We'd catch them all together in the house my blood money bought. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. But first, one more test. I had Jenkins call my mother from Iraq, pretending to be from my unit. "Ma'am, we have some of Sergeant Martinez's personal effects. Where should we send them?" Her response was cold. "Just dispose of them. We've moved on. Too painful." No hesitation. No emotion. Her son's belongings were just trash now. The flight home was surreal. Flying from a place where death was real to a place where my death was fiction. From Baghdad to LA, from war zone to crime scene. I'd survived 3 deployments only to come home to fight my own family. March 15th, 2023. Stood outside the house my death had bought. Beautiful neighborhood in Valencia. Kids playing in yards. American dream achieved through American nightmare. My family's cars in the driveway. BMW, Mercedes new truck. All purchased after my death. The FBI agents were positioned. Chun met me down the street. "You ready for this?" "No. How do you prepare to arrest your mother?" But I nodded. We approached the house. Through the window, I could see them. Family dinner. Laughing, talking, living. In my memorial corner, my photo watched over them. The devoted son, even in death. I knocked. Footsteps. Sophia's voice. "Coming." The door opened. She saw me and screamed. Not joy, terror. Pure, absolute terror. The plate she was carrying shattered on the floor. No. No, you're dead. "You're dead." She backed away like I was a ghost. "Hello, Sophia. Miss me?" My voice was calm, too calm. She kept screaming. The family rushed to the door. My mother saw me and went white. Carlos tried to slam the door. I caught it with my boot. "What's wrong, family?" Not happy to see me? My mother found her voice. This is impossible. You died. We have papers. The army said. The army said what, Mom? Which lie did you tell them? Which story did you perform? I stepped inside my death-bought house. The agents followed. Chun showed her badge. FBI. Nobody move. The house was a shrine to their deception. My photos everywhere, but arranged like a memorial. Fake sympathy cards displayed. The folded flag in a case. The urn that supposedly held my ashes. What was even in there? My mother stammered. This is a mistake. My son is dead. This man is an imposter. I pulled out my military ID, dog tags, passport. Staff Sergeant Anthony Martinez, very much alive. Unlike the version you buried, Chun's team started collecting evidence. Financial documents in the office. The computer with the forged documents. The printer that made my death certificate. Carlos tried to run. Agents caught him in the backyard. Sophia collapsed, sobbing. Not grief, fear. My mother maintained her act. I don't know who you are, but my son is dead. I have documents. Even caught red-handed, she performed. The show must go on. How much did you get for killing me, Mom? $750,000. Was it worth it? I showed her my phone, the Facebook posts, the banking records, the funeral photos. I watched it all from Iraq. Every shopping trip, every pool party, every toast to my memory while spending my money. The agents arrested them one by one. Fraud, theft, conspiracy. The list was long. My mother finally dropped the act. You were supposed to die over there. Do you know how hard it's been waiting? 3 deployments and you kept coming back. We needed that money. You owed us. At the FBI office, the full story emerged. My mother had been planning this for 2 years. Research on military death benefits. Forums for Gold Star families to learn the process. She'd even attended real military funerals to study grief. The performance on my funeral day was rehearsed. Perfected. Carlos and Sophia were co-conspirators. They'd helped forge documents, created fake email accounts, played grieving siblings online. The BMW and shopping sprees were payment for their silence. They'd sold their brother for luxury goods. Family loyalty had a price tag. The scope was staggering. They'd defrauded multiple agencies. The VA, Social Security, DADA, insurance companies. Even scammed charitable organizations meant for real Gold Star families. They'd taken resources from families who'd actually lost soldiers. That hurt more than the personal betrayal. My mother's justification was sociopathic. You were going to die eventually. Iraq, Afghanistan, somewhere. Why should we wait? Why should we stay poor? I raised you. You owed me. No remorse. No shame. Just anger at being caught. The woman who'd given me life had traded it for a house. The trials were swift. Federal charges don't play. My mother got 15 years for masterminding everything. Carlos got 10 years. Sophia, as the youngest and least involved, got 5 years with possibility of parole. The house was seized, cars repossessed. Every fraudulent dollar clawed back by the government. The real victims were the people who'd mourned me. Friends who'd grieved. Ex-girlfriends who'd blamed themselves. Teachers who'd wondered what more they could have done. My JROTC instructor had retired early, broken by losing another student. They'd all suffered real grief for a fake death. Struggled with the aftermath. PTSD from war was manageable. PTSD from family betrayal was different. Therapy helped, but how do you process your mother planning your funeral while you're alive? How do you trust anyone when your own blood sold your ghost? The army was supportive. Full investigation cleared me of any wrongdoing. But the damage was done. I couldn't deploy again. Couldn't focus. Medical discharge after 13 years of service. Honorable, with benefits. The irony, my family's fake death killed my real career, Started a nonprofit. Verified Valor, helping military families verify deaths and benefits. Preventing fraud while supporting real loss. We've caught dozens of cases. Not all as extreme as mine, but fraud nonetheless. Families creating fake deployments, fake injuries, fake deaths. All for money. My name is Anthony Martinez. I survived 3 deployments to Iraq, only to be killed by my family's greed. They held my funeral while I held the line. Spent my death benefits while I spent sleepless nights on patrol. Built their dream home on the foundation of my empty grave. The woman who taught me love, taught me betrayal. The siblings I protected became my predators. The family I fought to bury me. They say blood is thicker than water. But money, apparently, is thicker than blood. $750,000 was the price of my life. The cost of their love. I'm alive, but orphaned. My family exists, but not for me. They're in federal prison, paying for my death with their lives. The house stands empty, seized by the government. The cars are gone. The money recovered, but the betrayal remains. Some wounds don't. Heal. To my brothers and sisters in arms. Update your beneficiaries carefully. Verify your death notifications. Create safeguards against fraud, because sometimes the enemy isn't in a foreign country. Sometimes they're waiting at home with your death certificate already signed. Sometimes they're planning your funeral while you're planning your future. I survived Iraq. I survived Afghanistan, but I almost didn't survive my family's love. They say you can't choose your family. True, but you can choose to survive them. Even when they've already buried you, Rangers lead the way, even from beyond our own graves.